The eyes of Ra and Horus are famous Egyptian symbols that are said to represent the opposite but complementary qualities of the sun and moon, the active and receptive or generative and reflective principles. As the sun generates and emanates heat and light during the day, the moon receives and reflects this same energy at night. In anatomy, the fiery light of the sun and reflections of the moon symbolically relate to the eyes and the right and left hemispheres of the brain, our active and receptive attributes. In the ancient art of flame gazing, the eyes are kept open and unblinking while the line of sight is fixed on a naked flame until tears are drawn. This is called trataka in the Vedic teachings and quickfire in the Far East. The idea is to purify the eyes by washing them with tears. It is important to remember that no emotion is involved in this practice. It is the holding open of the eyes, the light of the flame, and the circulation of the energy that metaphorically draws out the tears. In a deeper anatomical analogy, the tears may be seen to bring a release of pressure within the central nervous system. When the creative energy is preserved and worked with, the cerebral spinal fluid becomes electrified and pressurized. The cerebral spinal fluid is a clear and colorless liquid. It is a saline solution, salty and slightly metallic to the taste, just like our tears. To the ancient masters and allegorists, this similarity would have indicated a release of pressure when tears were drawn, whilst also helping to raise the inner fire along the spinal cord. In this way, tears may be seen as a way of balancing our internal pressure whilst working with our personal energy. The Egyptian eye of Ra and Horus is often compared to the eye-like structure at the center of the human brain. Regularly connected to the pineal gland, this central structure is actually called the inter-thalamic-adhesion. This little-known but important mass of gray matter connects the two hemispheres of the thalamus. The word thalamus means the inner chamber in Greek. Like the brain itself, the thalamus consists of two hemispheres, and the inter-thalamic adhesion is the bridge between the opposite lobes. This bridge-like structure is also enveloped and in close contact with the cerebral spinal fluid through its proximity to the third ventricle. A beautiful fact that is only just coming to light is that there is a marked difference between the length of this bridge in males and females. Females, on average, seem to have a longer bridge or inter-thalamic adhesion, thus widening the gap between the two hemispheres of the thalamus. This is important because in general, and we are all different of course, females are more receptive, more intuitive, and more reflective, like the moon. This correlation may support the concept of the Eye of Horus or Ra, representing the balancing of opposite principles, the sun and moon, or the left and right hemispheres of the brain. The inter-thalamic adhesion may relate to the receptive, reflective, and intuitive qualities of an individual. Therefore, this bridge would indeed be the all-seeing eye. The Eye of Horus or Ra is depicted with both a feather and a spiral hanging from the eye itself. In the anatomical allegory, the feather represents a tear, and the two symbols together signify spiritual flight and clear vision. The spiral is said to be a tail. However, it may symbolize the galea of a butterfly, the curled tongue of the master of metamorphosis and transformation. The galea of the butterfly is used to draw up the sweet nectar from the glands and flowers of plants, the golden solar light in its physical manifestation. Interestingly, in Egyptian teachings, the tears of the sun god Ra were said to transform into honeybees when they hit the earth, thus supplying the people with the sweet dew of the sun itself. Honey. When we work with our creative energy, we help in the production of this metaphorical golden nectar deep within the glands of our brain. The ancient art of flame gazing is not only a tool to aid in the collection of this anatomical honey, but also a lesson in the anatomical allegory itself. The same may be said with the Eye of Horus or Ra, a profound symbol of the ancient mysteries, a symbol of anatomical metamorphosis and transformation, a symbol of balanced forces that often tend in opposite directions, and a symbol of initiation into the mysteries of the flame of life, and the all-pervading fire of the sacred universal force.